Hello guys, I'm Shockwave King, and I'm back here once again, and yes, you saw the title of the video, Baron's last trump card and Mashiba's opponent. Now I was just sitting here pondering, what type of video I can make next. Is just nothing interesting happening in One Piece. I already done dropped my recent videos and stuff like that. So I was just sitting here just like, well, what could I do? Is just like, you know, Ricardo Martinez versus Sinner's not going to happen anytime soon. So I might just be like, yeah, what about the whole Mashiba fight? And I also like thought about things about Miyata, but then I just started to ponder. Right, I really started to think about this and ponder. It's quite strange how not only how after Shinobu lost, he disappeared, Baron disappeared like he was no tomorrow. He was just gone, just vanished. The fact that he didn't make up any excuses, he was just immediately gone. It's quite suspicious because we know from Baron, for everything we've seen about him, he's just not gonna let you just get away with something and just vanish. Even when it comes to some type of embarrassment, if he's willing to smack around Shinobu in the middle of the ring, I doubt losing to Mashiba, who's like a top tier opponent, will cause him to leave. Sure, he is a freelance trainer, so he can leave wherever anytime he wants. But the whole purpose of Shinobu was to get back at the Kurogama gym. Pretty much what he's been trying to do for like a while. It happened with Aoki. Now Mashiba was just somebody who got in the way, really, and Takamura was right eventually that Shinobu was going to get his, and he got it. The only thing is just like there's a plot line still missing. Baron has not gotten what he deserved. He has not gotten the Takamura future prediction of getting a beating. And sure, Takamura was going to give it to him, but you know, Takamura put it, his little bitch Shinobu came in the way. You're going to obey your master, huh? You're going to obey him, aren't you? You're going to do whatever you can. It refers to Baron. There is no way that Baron just gonna let Mashiba just do that and just get away with it. He is a man who holds very strong grudges, and he does not forgive people. He just doesn't. So the whole thing with Aoki is just, besides from getting back at Takamura specifically, Takamura is the main goal. It was just amazing because like he has no type of hatred towards the coach or Aoki or Kimura. It's just purely Takamura is the man he hates with the Kurogama gym. It is purely him. Well, of course, why would he walk back in that gym and say, hey, look, I can recruit Ippo? And it just, I doubt he forgot what a gym was, but it's just, you think it's just that easy, bit merit. But just, I just find it quite suspicious on how there is no, and another reason why I say, it seemed like he put like a Sakaguchi, you know, that midget guy with the mustache who was hyping up Randy Boy Jr. until Randy Boy Jr. got into the ring with Miyata, and he was one of the most overhyped characters I've ever seen. I'm sorry, I personally hate Randy Boy Jr. because until Miyata weight management started to act up, Miyata was beating him like a dog. And they're supposed to be the man who to destroy Miyata. Are you serious? Are you serious? And he get beat like that? It is what it is. It is what it is. But because it's just like, honestly, let's sit here and think. If he really wanted to take out Mashiba, do you really believe that oh, he's just so happy that he forgot about Miyata? But like seriously, if he can remember Kimura, Ippo, and even someone more, do you honestly think that he'll forget about the person who pretty much nearly beat Mashiba until he stepped on his foot? I think he's going to forget that. It's just suspicious because as much as Baron analyze and collect data and watches people very closely, there is no way that he'll forget about Miyata at all. So what happened? Could it just be a possibility that the reason why he said, oh, we got 3 weaknesses and not 4 was because he didn't think Shinobu can actually do counters, which would actually make sense. Like hitting somebody in the body and switching over to an overhand right, that's simple. Doing illegal moves, that's simple. But what else? And doing a peekaboo stance is not really that hard. And somebody say, oh, it is hard. Sure, it's hard, but it's not hard to imitate. Shinobu is pretty much a bland fighter, pretty much. He's not. There's nothing special about him. And sure, Shinobu might have given him some techniques, but if you look at his last few matches, what has he been? Mostly a punching bag. He hasn't shown off nothing fantastic. It's all because of his endurance and perseverance that usually, you know, Shinobu's able to win the day. Nothing else. But with Mashiba, just like, why couldn't he learn the counters? Why wouldn't he use the counters? Because as much as he watched and studied, there's no way that, oh, it just so happened that Miyata I just completely forgot about him. I doubt that. I honestly doubt that he just forgot about Miyata at all. But the question is, then why? If he didn't believe that, if he didn't think Shinobu was going to win, because if you look at that fight, when Mashiba started to beat Shinobu, was Baron even concerned? Or was just like, no, I put all my hope and dreams into you, Shinobu. What happened? Or was it just like Mashiba just started winning, and then the next thing you know, Mashiba wins and Baron is gone? It's almost like he was doing more collecting data and getting research more than anything else. But the thing is, who would he be doing it for? For what reason? Because arguably, if Shinobu was a means to an end, it still goes back to Takamura being the main target. So what does this have to do with Mashiba's champion? There could be a chance that, in the same way that Shinobu was a means to an end, that just like Sakaguchi against Randy Boy Jr., that he was just using Shinobu to test out Mashiba for his other fighter to come through, since he's a freelance trainer, and I doubt he trains Shinobu all the time. Arguably, he could have just given that Shinobu and his coach some type of training regimen and just left. Oh, but he did all this hand-to-hand sparring. This is Baron. This is not a normal human being. Alright? I'm pretty sure he's getting the money anywhere he can. And if he had to leave Shinobu behind to temporarily train somebody else, pretty sure he would do it. Pretty sure. And if that was the case, then could it be that the lightweight champion of the world is the one that Baron also trains? Because he's a freelance trainer. Now, I can't recall how good of a trainer that he is. That it wasn't like a I can't remember the guy's name. The old guy trained Sonata and trained Vorik now. I think he's like Dan Patchy or something. It's not like him where he's just like he was a world-renowned world trainer or something like that. I don't believe so. But it could possibly be that, hey, it just so happened that Mashiba's... Because I'm also thinking, like, a fight we don't actually want to see is Mashiba go against a long-range opponent. Can more everybody have tried to fight Mashiba to get past his flicker jabs, and that's it. But the question is, it's just like an Itagaki scenario. How well would Mashiba do against like an Itagaki type opponent? A person who also has speed and to a certain degree range, who have his own for certain version of the flicker jabs. It'll be just like the good old classic Takamura versus Richard Bison. Flicker man and flicker jab, but just flicker jab, but different. Sure, I'm not expecting to see the exact same thing, no. I'm not expecting to see the exact same thing go down, no. But I was just thinking, it could be a possibility. He could pull out a Sakaguchi, and it turns out, oh, it was a world lightweight champion, the one that he was going for the entire time. A welterweight champion. At this point, he's a welterweight now, so I guess you can't say, yeah. Cause like the anime they keep referring to him as a welterweight, but in manga they keep calling him a lightweight, but it's just roll the tape. But yeah, I'm pretty sure. Cause honestly, if he was a freelance trainer, could it just be a possibility that Shinobu was just there for money and pretty much nothing else? He was literally just there collecting pocket change and just running up on game with the money. And if that was the case, then who was the target? And the target will always be Takamura, one way or another. That has not changed. So just like, I was thinking, it's rather going to be that Mashiba is going to go against a welterweight champion that was also trained by Baron, and he will also have the counters. But it'll just take out, you might want to check out the peekaboo style in general to try to get past the flickers. Because if you look at it, Mashiba turned into an N5 Slayer. It's pretty much what he's known for. He got the uppercut, he got the short uppercut like he's a Hayami. He can have a chopping right after the multi-flicker jabs. Because at this point, getting on the inside of Mashiba is null and void. What if you try to art box? It goes back to why I say we've never seen Kimura actually art box or fight with his true style. Because it would be clear as to how that would turn out. But then again, a person like Kimura, since he's not a spectacular art boxer, the peekaboo stance was pretty much all he had. But it's one of those things where questioning where Mashiba's opponent is for a lightweight champion, it's just like, oh, it could be this, it could be that. It could just, for lightweight world champion, it could be this, it could be that. It would be fantastic one way or another. It will be excellent. While questioning that is just, what is Baron's ultimate goal? Because his plot line has not wrapped up. His plot line is still there. So it comes down to the question of what is it? What is his plan? What is his goal? What is he trying to achieve? I always go back to the great Takamura. Always. Takamura has always been a bang of Baron existed. This technically, arguably, Takamura ruined Baron's boxing career. Arguably. Because honestly, if it wasn't for Takamura sparring him all the time and him coming up with them excuses, arguably, could it be possible that Baron could have had at least a decent career in the sport? We're not gonna act like Baron was something special, but is it wasn't for Takamura? Could it been that he could have had a decent career? He could have had a normal boxing career. She would have been special. She could have been Aoki 2.5 or something like that. But he could have had a normal career. But like always, there's always Takamura to get in the way. No matter where Baron goes, eventually, and today is quite sad. No matter where Baron goes and what he does, eventually Takamura will show up to be the bane of his existence. Once again. But to me, the fact that that plot line is not left over, is going to come back rather with Mashiba or more than likely Takamura. And sure, they come up with the whole thing that, oh, keep dragging, man. What if we keep dragging? Or something like that. Or I have brought up recently that, oh, maybe Itagaki might go up Baron. Possibility. Or might hire him on the side and train with him at Mashiba's gym. Possibility. Because Itagaki can't evolve with Ippo on his side, which I've already been over, so it's just... They just go back to... There's no way, just by accident, that it just so happens that... Because arguably Baron didn't have any real hatred towards Aoki at all. It was just business. And the fact that Aoki was close to Takamura. That was pretty much it. Besides from those two things, arguably, Shinobu going against Aoki at the A-Class tournament was just a coincidence, really. It was nothing that was really planned for. It was nothing where it's just like, oh, I have to see this happen. I gotta see him suffer. To me, it wasn't one of those things. It just said that it's just business. And also, take that, Takamura. How do you like that? But to me, it all comes down to one singular thing. What is the end goal for Baron in this overall storyline? Because it has to go somewhere. And it has to be something. But if it's not Aoki, which Aoki's gonna go against Shinobu at any time, whether he has Baron or not, his Baron is just not. Oh, Shinobu. He was praying that he would lose to Mashiba, and he did. So, and plus Mashiba was way out of Aoki's league currently. So even if Shinobu even had a chance, it'd be bad either way. And Baron's entire plan for Shinobu to win was just stupid, because arguably. If none of that stuff would have worked from the beginning, and it wasn't about the dragonfish blow or the peekaboo stance or the illegal blows. If you were to take all of that out, how would Shinobu actually beat Mashiba? He never had a chance in the first place. We're not finna act like Shinobu some type of beast that had a chance against Mashiba. He never did. The first 2 rounds of the match proved that Mashiba was dominating and pounding this man face in the hamburger. Literally, if it was for some PTSD and some quick reflexes, he would have got hit by the dragonfish blow that Shinobu was trying to set up. And even then, if that's the case, Mashiba shut all that down. Like what, the second or third round was just an obliteration of Shinobu. So I can't sit here and say that Shinobu was always Baron's game plan. So what was the main goal? Is Shinobu gonna use some money? And if Baron don't go the route of using the welterweight champion against Mashiba, which he doesn't even hate Mashiba. Mashiba was somebody in the way for the money. And since he is a freelance trainer, Baron can just hop in and out anytime he wants to. So I'm pretty sure we won't be seeing Shinobu and Baron back together anytime soon, in my personal opinion. And if that's the case, then the last one has to be Takamura. And it's not Keith Dragon. Like I was saying earlier, it's just too much have been put around like Keith Dragon in his right hand and building up Keith Dragon as his own character, similar to what they did like Brian Hawk. I say, yeah, Brian Hawk's the only other comparison, the other New Yorker, really. But then again, they was building up Miguel. I said, who is Keith Dragon's trainer now that I think about it? Because we've never seen his trainer or anything like that. It's all, the last few chapters have been purely focused on Keith Dragon and have not been focusing on actually that is quite concerning. Has there really been anybody else that was like a major Takamura opponent where we didn't also get insight on the trainer? I was gonna say David Eagle. David Eagle is one. Yeah, David Egan and Richard Bison, so no, I can't really say that, but it would be interesting who David. At least we saw who David Eagle trainer was, and we saw who Richard Bison's trainer was also. But we don't know who Keith Dragon trainer is, so. And the fight with Richard Bison just kind of showed up, so there was no build up. But Keith Dragon did have some build up. David Eagle did have some build up, and didn't show off his trainer either, so. I mean, but to sum all this up, Baron's trump card has to be something against Takamura, or let's go be. He has to have somebody else he's training. He has to have somebody else who's paying him. It just has to be. It wouldn't make any sense for him as a character just to vanish right now and just have nobody else. But there is a jackass still out there that needs to be punished. Because arguably, if it was about getting back at the gym entirely, he would have tried to get back at a coach. He would have tried to get back at Yagi and Shinoda, which he don't care about them at all. He would have tried to get back at Itagaki. Like I said, half of the gym most of the gym he has no problem with. Even just unexpectedly, like no one knew who he was when he first showed up. Nobody, only Takamura. That's her early. Arguably, Miyata might know who he is. That's pretty much it. I think, yeah, Miyata might know who he is because he was in the gym when he was a kid and was there. Right, he was there before and after Takamura dropped out of school for boxing. So I say only Miyata have a good idea of who Baron is as a fighter, and that's pretty much it. Yeah. Miyata and maybe the coach and aside from that, there's like there's nothing left. There's nobody else who should know like who Baron was at the gym because no one knew who he was when he first showed up. So it's just, I don't know. Maybe this is a nonchalant theory, but it's just now that I look back at it, the whole Shinobu thing just seems very suspicious to me. It doesn't make any sense. Why? Like a character like Baron, who was just gloating like, oh, there are 3 weaknesses. Why would he only depend on those 3 weaknesses? Like seriously, even like Sakaguchi. The midget, even he had to send multiple people to go against Miyata to figure out what everything he could do to figure out how, like, what type of techniques and style he had. Even he put in the extra effort to try to give Randy Boy Jr. every inch of the advantage as he can. And even then, Randy Boy Jr. was just a means to an end to him. Because honestly, there was no plans afterwards. He had no real hatred. He already planned on Miyata losing to Randy Boy Jr. just like he planned on Miyata losing to Ernie Gregory, but honestly he's just a scummy fight promoter. That's pretty much it. I can't remember what exactly happened to him at the Randy Boy Jr. fight, but you seen how much effort he put in just to fight Miyata? Multiple guys, even that one guy who was just a punching bag he just threw in there that showed up in Rising. Looked like he played his role well. You gotta give he had heart, and he was not gonna betray his boxing spirit or his spirit as a warrior to go against a great person like Miyata and just throw the fight. He just couldn't do it. Or just sit there as a punching bag. He just couldn't do it. But I don't know, I'm just curious on how this entire plot line gonna turn out. Cause he's still a threat. He's still out there. He's literally still out there. Bearing this. And just, maybe it's, like that's the only reason that he wouldn't try to make Shinobu pull off any counters. Even then, when it comes down to a counter, honestly, you could just plan from one singular move like Ippo did against Hayami and just plan for that. That's all he literally had to do. Just plan for one singular move to show up and then counter Mashiba. It was arguably because it had Shinobu just keep taking lefts and jabs and try to set up Mashiba for the chopping right and just attempt to uppercut him. And just catch the time. And sure, Shinobu will get roughed up, but that was pretty much Baron's game plan for Shinobu to get. Like, you see what I'm talking? You see how suspicious it is? You see how strange Baron's plan is? You see how it kind of just doesn't really make too much sense for a character like Baron that don't need to be a counter specialist. There are people who are just trying to go for a dual exchange, got a good counter and won the match. So why would a person like Baron forget such a thing? Or just like always, Shinobu was just another means to end, just money. Just like to Sakaguchi. Who was Ernie Gregory? Just money. That's pretty much it. Who was that one guy? I think he was like from the Philippines that fought Miyata in Rising. Who was he? Just money. He was literally just paying that man to get extra inside of Miyata. Who was Randy Boy Jr. to Sakaguchi? also just money. So Shinobu's a decoy, didn't mean nothing, and the whole beating with Aoki was just to rub it in Takamura's face. Then what is Baron's final plan? What is his goal? Because it has to be against Takamura, and if it's not with Keith Dragon, which I doubt it is, I doubt it's with Keith Dragon at this point. There's just too many chapters. We got too much insight in Keith Dragon as a person for just it's just now we could have a possibility where it'd be like it just so happened that hey guys, I got me a freelance trainer from Japan and it's Baron. There's a chance, but yeah. I personally believe it has to be something leading up to Takamura. Because unless you're going to try to take out like Itagaki or Kimura, which wouldn't make too much of a sense, since both of their careers are stagnant and haven't been going anywhere, it's going to be a running gag, or has it been pointed at, that at this point Aoki has gone farther than Kimura because Kimura don't have a goal. Just like Itagaki, you expect him getting humiliated in the corner like that he want revenge? No. Like Itagaki, at least Kimura, it makes sense. He had his last chance at the A-class tourney. And he's pretty much in an in-between moment in his life where you just don't really know where Kimura is going to go. So at least Kimura has an excuse. Itagaki doesn't. And he just sits there and just do nothing, wasting his time being the #1 Ippo fanboy. And people make fun of me, Ippo and Miyata. Really? At least Ippo actually saw Miyata as a challenge. What is Itagaki doing? Nothing. But, yeah. Baron must have an overall plan. It has to be. The entire situation is just suspicious and fishy. Something's not right here. And that's the thing. I don't know when it's going to come back into some type of significance. I don't know when Baron's going to show back up and say, hey, got you, bitch. I got you. After all these years, Takamura, I got you. Because arguably, if it just so happened that Baron shows up now, it's just what it seemed. So it's just, I can't, it's possible, but I can't personally see it happening. Unless Baron can try to sneak in. But even then, just like, there's no guarantee that Keith Dragon have a strong chance of being Takamura. But then again, we don't know what Ippo gonna see on the tape. You haven't seen Keith Dragon. I just think, until we get some more information on Keith Dragon, I can't say Baron will get involved with Keith Dragon fight. And if that's the case, then, I don't know. I'm just here trying to guess the final plans. The final evil plans of Baron's just snickering somewhere. Of how will he get back against Takamura. Because that's what his own major goal is. Besides from getting money as a freelance trainer, Takamura is the main goal. There was no other reason for him to show up. Besides from to get revenge on that bastard. Because like seriously, arguably, nobody else. Not even Aoki after all the things he done to him. Molesting his girlfriend. Shitting on the top of his head. Not even all of that. It would cause Aoki to hate Takamura as much as Baron. Because arguably Takamura ruined Baron's life. Arguably he did. Like honestly, he could have had a decent boxing career like Shinoda or somebody. But all because of that darn Takamura. If it wasn't for that Takamura and that relentless beating, because arguably, I'm pretty sure the only reason he beats up on his boxers like that is purely just because Takamura it's like an abuse thing. When a child is like abused by their parent, there could be a chance that they also choose to become an abuser. So if that's the case, then that explains Baron. He's mad that Papa Takamura used to beat him like a dog in sparring, and now he's mad. Now he thinks training his fighter means you gotta push him to the limit. But he's not Scarface, and this is not the 1980s or 70s either. Alright, like, arguably that's pretty much been the video, guys. I can't, like, if it's not gonna be with Mashiba, if Mashiba's not a part of Baron's big old final plan, then it has to be Takamura, because his plot line has not been wrapped up. He's still out there. Oh, he's gonna come back with no, Shinobu's done. Shinobu is more than likely going to fight Aoki man to man by himself. It sure would be a thing like, oh, maybe he was just trying to escape embarrassment with Shinobu. Sure, that is a possibility. But honestly, would he actually even care? Sure, he had the sponsorship deals, but that was really just Shinobu just messing with his money. That's pretty much it. Because honestly, without them sponsorship deals, it was Baron also getting his cut. So it's just like when, why would a manager or somebody try to make their fighter fight for money they want to fight for? Because the fighter got $2 million or something like that. They're not getting that total $2 million. There is taxes on top of that. You gotta pay your team. So it's more like 1.5 million, arguably. So if that's the case, then I don't know. I honestly don't know what to think, because Baron's still out there, and it's just that little small detail might be insignificant, but for Baron, it's everything. It's just like with any slimy, scheming character, just like with Starscream. You think Starscream would miss on a small detail with like Megatron? So you think he would miss on that small detail if he really wanted to destroy somebody? No. I doubt Baron actually had any true belief that Shinobu could do it at all, because honestly his game plan was failed from the beginning. Because arguably there was no plan B for Shinobu at all. Just the rest of Shinobu. Let's say Shinobu beats Mashiba. What's after that? A few brand sponsor deals, and that's pretty much it. There is literally like no long-term girls for Mashiba at all. And if that's the case, then what's the end goal? I should have got killed right there. What is the end goal for Baron? Because it could be like a Takamura. I just want to know how would he get his revenge, somehow, some way. But that's pretty much the video, guys. Pretty bored Shockwave King, because at this point I'm just rambling and just going around in circles, and it's just constantly questioning the same thing about what his true goal could be. Because I don't see it going either other way, besides from like maybe Mashiba, besides from like maybe Takamura. And just like trying to get back at Miyata is just, Miyata was a kid back then when he was getting beat up by Takamura, so there's not an excuse. And arguably it had to be in between when Takamura like when did Baron actually even show up to the gym? Because it wasn't that whole the origin story of Takamura at the gym. It wasn't in that episode for like the anime. So it wasn't then. Arguably could be filler or not. It depends. I don't know. I don't know if George Morikawa wrote the episode or not, or had some involvement in the writing process, or if it's canon or not. But if he wasn't there back then, and it had to be before Takamura decided to punch Elkioki, who was still touching his balls at the time, and knock out Kimura with his pompadour. If it was before those two things, I mean Baron had to be there for like a very short period of time. Very short period of time. And it also could be a slight chance that everybody just forgot about Baron existed in the first place. And it could have debuted around the same time. And since it's so focused on Takamura that everybody just forgot about him. Besides Takamura, it could be a possibility, but anyway. I don't feel like the plot line is over. Yeah, it exists out there. But people been shocked with kill. What do you guys think? What do you think Baron's final trump card could be, or what it is? Because it's just oddly suspicious that he would just vanish and just would not try to actually have any solid game plan against Mashiba. Not cool in the fact that he's a freelance trainer in the first place, and it's just, even then he can't even pull off like a Sakaguchi type thing, because even then he had a goal to take up Miyata. But Baron just like, he has no hatred towards Mashiba at all, and really arguably don't really know the guy at all. Mashiba has no connections to Takamura, besides from getting his ass whooped by him and knowing who Takamura is. Like seriously, you rarely see Mashiba and Takamura in the same room, which you only seen arguably once, besides from when Mashiba showed up to like one of the Ippo matches or something like that. That'd be pretty much it. So if that's just the case, then what could his final plan be? What could the number one schemer be scheming? Who knows? Because arguably he's a good trainer. He turned Shinobu into just a Kabashi 2.0 to an actual knockout specialist. And even what he was just, seriously, Shinobu has no real talent. Jack of all trades, master of none. And I guess he could have mastered the counter in time. So Bear was just like, you're going to use your tough perseverance and endurance. You're going to go in there, and if this fails, then that's going to be you getting decapitated. That's going to be you losing the sponsor deals. I got money. And just like, Shinobu trainer can't really do anything about it, which arguably the trainer is also a bad trainer, because if he doesn't take anything from what Baron has been teaching, he's just a terrible trainer. I don't know why the video wasn't recording. It cut off and it just was recording. Because like, if he learns nothing from Baron, then he's just a terrible trainer. And there was no way that Shinobu was going to be a good boxer in the first place. So I guess it's time for Shinobu to also move on. But I doubt he's gonna be like a sympathetic character after Aoki finally face him. And if Aoki faces Shinobu and he becomes Japanese champion, my God, he was able to. So he was right. He was right with the whole thing. Where he's just like, I can be next. I can be with the losers, or I can be with Takamura and Ippo. Wow, did like after all this time, Aoki would finally make it. It's enough that he owns a restaurant chain and has a girlfriend and has a stable life and arguably has no reason to be boxing at all. But enough he got all that, because nobody else got a relationship. Itagaki gets that whole Itagaki and Mario thing was just sad. It really was. She had no interest in the poor kid at all. It was just sad, really. But aside from that, honestly, I don't know. I honestly don't know, because after Shinobu, really, what relevant what Baron actually has, besides from the fact that Takamura said that one day both of y'all would get what's coming to you. Because arguably Shinobu should never played around Aoki like that and should just finish him. Because at least he wouldn't have just got knocked out. Maybe have like a black eye or something. That it's better than getting beaten like a dog and embarrassed in front of your girlfriend. So that's one down with Shinobu, and he's just, I don't know. I don't know if you guys thoughts about the whole Baron situation. And what do you believe his final plans could be? Because it's just, I don't know what it could be, honestly. I honestly don't. But I don't know you guys' thoughts and opinions down below. Please comment, like, and subscribe. And that'll be Boom Shockwave King, and peace.